Okay, so on this one, we have a square root that's over an entire fraction. Whenever you have a square root over a whole fraction, take that square root to the top and to the bottom separately. So a square root that's over an entire fraction, you make that into a square root in the top and the bottom separately, right? It's on both of them, it's on the whole fraction. So now, what do you do about this? Well, the bottom, you're going to simplify that first. Always first simplify roots. So what do I mean, simplify roots? Well, the bottom is the root. Let me just keep it with the same color here. The bottom is the root of 3x's. Right, that's what x cubed means. 3x's. Okay, so what do we do now? 2 for 1. Right, 2x is in, 1x out, and they're gone. So what do we have? Square root 11 over x root x. Does that make sense? It's a 2 for 1 deal. That's what roots always do. So do that first, simplify the root. Now, what are we going to do from here? Can we leave it that way? Are we done there? No, we can't leave a root in the bottom. We're fine with the root on the top. We don't care about that root 11 up there. But we're not fine with this square root down here. We cannot leave square roots in the denominator. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to multiply top and bottom by just the root part. Notice, I don't care about the x in the front. He's not a problem. I don't care about him. I'm just multiplying top and bottom by just the root part. Okay, so what becomes of it? Well, the top, it's root of 11 times x. Oops. Which is the root of, let me do that on the bottom also. There we go. On the top, it's the root of 11x, right? 11 on the x, just multiply inside the root. On the bottom, we have the x on the outside, this outsider, and then these two guys are inside, aren't they? Remember, outsiders stay outside and insiders stay inside. Outsiders multiply outsiders, insiders with insiders. So these two x's multiply inside, producing x squared down there. Okay, so now what? Well, we can simplify that one more step. Let me show you. So on the bottom, or on the top, let's first look to the top. It's just going to be 11, nothing's happening in the top. But on the bottom, this x squared, you know what it's going to do. It's 2x's, right? X squared means 2x's. And 2 for 1 deal. 2x is in. Another x comes out in addition to the x that's already outside. You see that? That's what roots always do, don't they? They do a 2 for 1 deal. So when you have x squared in a root, that's really 2x's in a root. They're going to ship one out. They're gone. Notice there's no more root in the bottom. Why? There's just x squared. There's our final answer. You see what happened in the bottom? Right? So let's go back to here. So I had a root in the bottom. So I multiplied top and bottom by the root. Outsiders with outsiders, insiders, insiders. On the bottom, that was 2x's inside of a root. That's 2x's in a root. That always ships one out, doesn't it? And they're gone, and there's nothing left in the root. So you see, if there's nothing left in the root vanishes. There was only 2x's in the root, shipped one out. So that root vanished. So on the bottom, we just have x squared. We're done. Here's the final answer. There's no root in the bottom, so that's good. That's our final answer, and we're done right there.